of investments before they're actually utilized, but not this state. And the city hasn't hit, while the city has done very, very well in many ways, utilities and city services and personnel, the cost of building a road is a lot. So we're not going to build roads that people aren't driving on.
So personally, I feel like, what does it hurt to ask? I mean, the
That's one
citizens
perspective.
are going to vote either
Right.
way, so what's it
I
hurt?
do think if we want it to have a chance of passing, we have to help citizens understand that the goal is to keep the property taxes as low as we possibly can. And we have a great track record of showing that we're committed to that. It's not like we've been raising taxes every single year and now we're going to say, oh, but we're going to sales tax increase too. It wouldn't be that, so.
This would be the proper time to do it.
Problem is that we're saddled for 2 more years if we don't
Right.
take a chance
So
on
you
this
ask
year.
us if we want to put it on there?
What I'm asking you is, because this is a work session and time is short, do you want us to move forward with getting the materials together so we can actually, I don't know,
I don't know if we can get it together before next week.
okay.
It does have to be an ordinance. I think that we have time, to still get it on. We have till 75 days before the election. So it's not we don't have a really short window that we're working with.
My preference would have been the August election, actually,
Oh, okay.
but we can't make that.
Oh, I say go ahead. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree.
I brought this up 3 or 4 years ago. I feel like maybe we need to start this, and it's gonna be a pain in the, you know what, but I think a more fair tax would be on gasoline that the counties or the cities that could put on a couple of cents a gallon.
We can't really do that here.
You have to talk to your state legislators. That's not something that we have the authority to
Lobby
do.
the state for it.
Sure you can. Yeah. No, we tried to do that several years ago with the, what do they call it? Not the impact, Improve Act. And they wanted to index, but we got some more money for roads, but not as much as was needed to
Okay, are y'all gonna draft this up?
catch up.
If, we will draft it if this body tells us to.
I think we should move forward.
Let's consider a motion, a second, if you want to. Let's formalize that direction from Ms. McCauley.
This is for the sales tax referendum.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Juvon, second by Councilman Hayes. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Thank you. Moves along. I know that, well, we'll go ahead and see if there's any other business from any of this body. I think I've got. Okay, go ahead, Ms. McCauley.
I have a few things for tonight. If you will recall, we have a lease with Ashley's Place, and as part of that lease, they have to come to us and ask for any improvements to be made. And we have, if you remember, they came and made a presentation. They're getting some money and want to make some improvements. They have started on the improvements you've already approved, and now they would like to, for the next fiscal year, they would like to resurface the existing parking lot and extend the parking lot, and they realize they have to work with planning and engineering on that, if you approve it. They want to renovate the kitchen and restrooms to make them ADA compliant, and because they currently don't have an ADA compliant bathroom. And if they have funding left over after that, they would like to repair and refinish the existing wood floors in the upper part of the building. And so I'm just asking this body if you approve these improvements to the house that we own where Ashley's Place currently has a lease.
They have the money.
They have,
We don't have anything to
we will not
define.
be paying anything. They will fully fund this.
And I would say yes, absolutely.
Yes.
On the vote, or? you
Yes,
just-
I would like a vote,
Okay,
please.
let's
Motion that we allow them to go ahead.
make improvements as able. I think you should specify requested improvements if allowed, as allowed.
As noted.
Okay. Motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilman Carter. Any questions, any discussion? Okay, Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Passes unanimously. And the dangerous building, I found my notes.
Yes. And then the next thing I have, we had a dangerous building on Drew Road that this body had moved for our next meeting. We've had some difficulties in getting service of process. We have now found we think we have some better addresses and have found perhaps who is the sole member of the LLC. Doesn't mean they're going to work with us, but we would like to have you continue that hearing until June 4th to give us time to try to get proper service, so we're not wasting time at the next meeting.
I move we postpone this until June 4th.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Love, second by Councilman Hayes. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Passes unanimously to delay to June 4th.
And I have one final thing with the Resource Authority. I've been asked several times about the Resource Authority. I just want to give an update to the entire body. I have spoken with the Resource Authority's attorney on several occasions and spoke with him again today. He is planning to put on the next agenda for that board for them to vote to amend the agreement. If you will recall, our agreement says that tipping fees can go up to $45, and we've exceeded that. And so he's going to amend that, he's going to recommend that that body amend that agreement, and then we would have to amend it also. So that's one update. And then the second update, I'm getting questions about if we're going to try to recoup any money. And so we're kind of in a catch-22 where we have been charged more than what the agreement said. We're also a member of that body, and so we have to pay for the expenses of the Resource Authority. And we are the only municipality, Hendersonville, who's also a member, they don't take their trash to the Resource Authority. So we're a little bit of a catch-22, and I just want to know what this body, and when I was speaking with the attorney for the Resource Authority today, he said, really, they can't really do a lot right now because of the fire. They're still having to figure out what those costs are going to be. And so he can't really make any kind of recommendation. I just want to know, does this body want me to continue to research that issue, or what your thoughts are on that?
We need to fix it going forward. I mean, because otherwise they're just going to refund it and then turn around and charge us more.
Correct. I mean, and the meeting will be this coming Monday. But.
Okay.
And you gotta realize too, that you talk about Hendersonville doesn't take the trash there. There's three bodies, the county. County doesn't really take their trash.
Right, exactly. We're the only one.
We're the biggest entity that does, as far as
Right.
the three of us. I mean, so yeah, you're probably right. I mean, if we do go back and do that, then yeah, they're probably just gonna up it. So I think it's,
Well, what's the will of this body? I just need some clear direction
Do we need to make a motion?
going forward as to what my role is.
Do we need to make a motion for this? All right, okay.
Well, either a motion or to have everyone kind of tell me what they think. I just
I'll
need some
say,
clear direction.
A motion to end the discussion piece for that part.
I think the appropriate action would be to read the agreement, bring it to us to agree to, we fix it going forward. I mean, and,
That's fair enough.
well, nothing's optimal, but I think, as administrations change and people in different roles change, we went through different public works directors, Resource Authority members, just nobody realized that was our threshold on, every year it increased, and every year, or every time it increased, we just continued to pay that. It's in our budget, so. Anyone? Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Carter, second by Councilman Fennell. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no. No, Ms. McCauley, is that all with you?
Yes, thank you.
Else with any other business? Mr. Javance?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank Susan for looking into the IDB issue and the money we didn't come to the city. So I know, Mayor, you're probably as upset as I am because I remember all these meetings and I watch all these meetings and I remember what was promised to us was that the money would come to the city. And that's not the case. And that's not the case. So I talked with Susan, who came with a solution, and I would like to move that forward. Is like I paraphrased. Cut me if I'm wrong, but you said the only way to change it would make a resolution to change. The previous resolution will put us in that situation. You can probably explain better than I do.
What you're describing is exactly what we are working on, so we can direct in the future.
Yes, so the original authority, given the IDB authority to do pilots, did not restrict that in any way. And so if this body desires to change that, then we would have to go back and change the original legislation that this,
Which we can.
that the council enacted, allowing the IDB to to enter into those pilots, and we can
We direct
restrict
them.
going forward how the funds can be directed. That's what, I mean, that's really what we can do, is to correct it going forward. Yes. If that's what this body wants me to do, then, and I know the mayor is, and, she had talked with me about that.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to go that way.
Second.
We're going to bring it to you anyway, so motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? No, no no's? Okay. Not a word from this side of the room, but I'm going to say passes 7-0.
I said,
Nodded your head.
No.
That wasn't verbal. Vocal. You had your hand raised. You have a question or other business?
yes, I do.
Okay.
I know that, I think Ben Harris and Chuck Stewart was riding around making a list of houses that was damaged and put on the FEMA list. I know that I think 4 houses. My question to you is, has it been deemed? No?
No, we don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
I signed something this afternoon for FEMA. Still collecting, trying to reach that threshold to get a disaster declaration for the state. I guess is what you do, or is it for the county? Anyway, we have to reach it as a county, and then there's some assistance available for uninsured. So that's kind of where that's the advantage of that, plus the city can get some support. Actually talked about this morning in the department head meeting, because so much of our flooding is just perpetual problems, since I was a child even, several of us for children, and at some point, those properties need to be bought, and I know it's happened with some other properties in Gallatin, and I think that's the solution for some of these really dire circumstances, but get the funding to do that, get the declaration to do that would be helpful, but that's a long path, but let's see what we can come up with. But yeah, we had quite a few people call in with their damages. The inspectors certainly helped the county to go and call on where there was a lot of damage. We have quite the log, so there was quite a bit.
I was one of them. I was one of them.
We were too, so, but yeah, I think a whole lot of people had a whole lot of damage. So. Especially in the older areas, our neighborhood, so. Anyone over here with that? Anyone else with any other business? All right, department heads. I've got, I think, several people wanting to report just some flood information. We've got an occupancy tax audit report, monthly financial reports, both from Ms. Nichols. Y'all don't knock each other down and get into the podium.
I'll get up and sit down quick. Before the meeting, I handed out some reports. The first page is a summary of our first occupancy tax audit. The last two listed are Quality Inn and Sleep Inn, and they look really bad on paper, but the owner of the hotels had already been in touch with us to rectify this. A family member was managing the facilities for him. He did not realize the family member had failed to remit the occupancy tax, so we were already working through getting that collected from him. But for the time frame that the audit covered, those were reported as under-collected revenues. Outside of those two, which we were already working with, the most that a hotel failed to pay was $946 over a 12-month period. For our first ever audit, we thought that was pretty good. All in all, the facilities were doing a really good job reporting timely and accurately. That 946, some of the discrepancy was the additional charge for pet fees and, I forgot one other small thing that the hotel had not included on their return. So that's why that made the 946. So all in all, not bad. We were happy with it. And going forward, excuse me, going forward, we will have the hotels on a 2 or 3 year cycle. So we will be auditing them routinely going forward, just to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to. Then behind that are the March and April financial reports. Again, as the year's winding down, we're still doing well with all of our departments, and our overall spending, overall revenue collections are coming in well. So, any questions, I'll be glad to answer. Yes, sir.
What process do you use to audit them?
We hire a firm that goes out and asks for all of their room rentals for the time frame, and then they compare it to the report that they send to us monthly with their remittance to make sure they've had an accurate count of rooms and services that were reported.
So it's kind of up to them to turn it in,
I'm sorry?
kind of up to the hotel owners to turn it in.
Yes, sir. We can,
I've seen an instance in another state that they audited the VRBO and the Expedia reservations, and that city accumulated a lot more money.
this year we picked out our hotels. Next year in that cycle, we will be doing some of the Airbnb rentals. Thank you.
Dragon, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about this damage assessment we've been doing, okay? There were 5 of us. And we have to track those hours also, which we send to Richard over in Public Works, and he compiles that data. I'm gonna give you a roundabout number of where Gallatin's threshold is to start receiving FEMA monies, and is about $990,000, okay? But you gotta understand, everything goes into one pile with the county, with the state of Tennessee, everything that happened. So far, we have sent damage assessment on 43 different structures. But there's others out there that we don't know anything about. If people got water in their crawl space and there's air conditioning duct down there, we can get the pictures and we can take statements. But we have the software on our iPads. As soon as we put everything in with the pictures, it goes straight to FEMA right then. So that they're compiling the data. I've been through this. I lived in a hurricane region. And you gotta cross all your T's, dot all your I's for FEMA to buy. So if you have a car in your yard and a tree fell on it, that's not in their guideline. They don't cover that. If you have a fence
Fractional
around your yard
damage.
and it falls on it, they don't, trees down does not count, okay? So we're looking for homes that got struck by trees, wind damage. We had one that got struck by lightning, did severe fire damage to it. That one's gonna run some numbers up to help us some. The only thing in the city limits of Gallatin we did not do was Welch College, and they sent someone else out there. So we know they're still trickling in. If you have water under your crawl space, they need to call us, get on the list with Angela, and get it to us so we can get someone out there to take a look at it. And we'll get the pictures and send them in.
And Angela's in the mayor's office, 615-451-5961.
Thank you. The other thing I want to talk to you about our code adoption process we're going through. We've had 2 of our classes. We've had 200 contractors come through. The last one will be next Tuesday, and we have 160 signed up for this next class. The reception's been well. We feed them lunch. Rosemary has donated from EDA funds to help us pay for these lunches. We come in, the conversation's been good, and we're bringing some things into this code that I think that this council will be real happy with when we bring it in. So we had to run by them what we're doing, and we didn't get any opposition to it. So if you make it next Tuesday, come join us at the Civic Center, 11 o'clock, get a discussions on codes. Thank you.
I've got a question, Chuck. What about people, back to the FEMA one,
Okay.
what about people who had water damage in their basements, but since then have had it pumped out?
We got it. We can take statements if they've cleaned up already, and we can take pictures, okay? And we'll write the determination out there and send it to them, and they'll look at what we give them, plus the statements. It's kind of like flood zones. If you can you can use ancient history by asking someone, has it ever flooded here? Yeah, I've been living here 60 years, flooded 5 times. Well, FEMA will buy that, okay? But I'll tell you what FEMA told me Monday morning. Monday morning, yes. I'm losing days here. One of the problems we had in Gallatin, the locks were closed with the minimum water flow that they allow, and the Cumberland River went 20 feet above what it should have been. So when the Cumberland River gets that high, water can't get out of Gallatin. In our tributaries, you can't get out. And then they opened them up with, letting 2 million gallons a minute go out or something like that. And then they closed it again. If you notice the lake, it went down, then it come back. They had to open it again. But if you go north up here, Bledsoe Creek, everything up that way is clear blue water. Down here, we're still coffee brown, you know. So you can't tell FEMA anything, and you can't understand anything they tell you, so it's just the world we live
Don't you
in.
make us feel all optimistic
Well,
and
you know,
cheery.
I've been dealing with them for years, so, but the guy we got here is trying his best to do everything he can. He's telling people, the guys in the county, look for this, because, you know, we were kind of on top of what we had to look for. But the guys they got doing it are road crews and stuff.
You know, as I was here tonight, I had 3 different businesses contact me about that, so I call either your office or call FEMA.
Call Angela's office. She's tracking the list in the mayor's office, and she is updating that list every day, and we're hitting it every day.
And this is something Ms. Scott can do as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So can I just give you these pictures? She left them, but I'll get in touch with her and have her to still call the mayor's office.
Oh,
I think she went to the mayor's office today.
Gotcha. Okay.
Many times.
Ms. Scott that was here tonight.
Went to the mayor's office.
Okay, so she's on the list then.
I'm pretty sure that we have the pictures that she gave us.
Okay,
If
gotcha.
if people took pictures, give them to us. We'll upload them and send them.
Gotcha. All righty.
Thank you.
Just a couple dates that I would like to get in front of you and have you get on your calendars. June 17th, we are going to have a public kickoff for the zoning ordinance update. As you are well aware, right after I began here back in January, we started our zoning ordinance update with the consultants, We've been working with them mostly behind the scenes. They've had conversations with each of you, done some short interviews with you, and we're looking to now kind of branch out and get a little more intense, get to the public, have some conversations with the public as well. And so that kickoff will be June 17th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers room.
Friday night?
It's
Oh, no, I'm
it's a
looking at May.
it's a
I'm
Monday
sorry.
night.
I'm looking
Yep.
at May. I'm like, what?
Yep. Now, a month from then, we are going to have a start on a Friday night, or Friday afternoon, really. June 12th through the 15th. It's a 4-day event, so you'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday availability to July 12th through the 15th. And that will be our Planapalooza, which is a nice term for just a 4-day intense planning public process event. So just want to have you guys get that on your calendar. We don't have the location for that yet, so just stay tuned and we'll get more information to you for that. But just wanted to get those dates in front of you and have you start putting those on your calendars so you'll be able to plan on coming out and participating and sharing your thoughts. So, thank you.
Lance gave me some notes that he wanted me to recap the flooding that happened on May 8th. He wasn't able to be here tonight, but he would be happy to come back and present more information later. So here's the notes he gave me. The afternoon and evening of Wednesday, May 8th, 2024, a powerful and extreme rain event occurred over the city of Gallatin, over Sumner County, and over northern areas of Middle Tennessee. The rain event caused flash flooding in almost every stream, creek, open channel, culvert, and ditch in the area. The city's drainage system was overwhelmed, causing a temporary overtopping of roads and causing some property damage in low-lying areas. The areas hit hardest by the event were the older areas and neighborhoods around town where drainage was not closely regulated as it is in newer developments. The volume and intensity of the rain that fell during the storm was extreme and impressive. And what was equally impressive was how fast and efficiently the floodwaters receded. As a city, we cannot control the volume or intensity of the rain that falls on us, but we can control how quickly and efficiently it recedes back into the stormwater system and back into our streams and creeks. How quickly this extreme storm and flash flood event receded is a testament to the continued efforts that the planning department and engineering division have put into the planning of the drainage system and improving the current drainage system. But most importantly, it is a testament to the timeless and continued efforts put into maintaining the current drainage system by our Public Works Department. Real quick, some recaps, the statistics. The watershed for Station Camp Creek received 7 to 7.5 inches of rain in a 24-hour time frame. That's considered a 100-year rainfall event. Most of our stormwater systems around the city, we have a 10-year rain event level that we design to, meaning that those channels and ditches and pipes should be able to pass the water that falls during a 10-year storm event. East Camp Creek experienced a 100-year rain event at 7 to 7.5 inches as well. Town Creek received approximately 8.5 to 9 inches of rain. This is estimated to be a 500-year rain event. The flood in 2010 for Nashville, I believe, was a 1,000-year rain event, so getting very close to that same level. Bulls Creek received 5.5 to 6 inches. That one's considered about a 50-year rain event. And then finally, DeShake Camp Creek received 6 to 6.5 inches, also a 100-year rain event. Some of the stormwater and flood control projects that we have going right now, we have a Triple Creek flood control berm that we're working with U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to build a flood control berm near the entrance of Triple Creek Park. That berm is being designed to try to help control the water coming down Town Creek for any events that are 50 years and above. So that should have helped with some of the water coming into town from Triple Creek. We've also had the Hitchcock Avenue berm that's been mostly built, but it's not completely built yet. We anticipate probably 2 years before that's fully complete from the developer. And then finally, we're developing a project for Bly Avenue drainage to try to help alleviate some of the flooding in those areas and get that water over to Town Creek more efficiently. Though that's not an exhaustive list of the projects that we have going on, but those are some of the bigger projects we have going on. In addition to the projects above, the engineering division has been looking into developing flood buyout program for similar to other cities. This program would allow, or this program would work in concert with available FEMA grants to share the cost of purchasing properties that are repeatedly damaged in these kind of events. Once purchased, the city could demolish those structures and return the property to open space or use the property to create pocket detention ponds to try to help alleviate that flooding in other areas, in adjacent areas. So that's what he wanted me to report to y'all. And like I said, if y'all would like for him to come back and present more information on that, he'd be happy to do so. And
I think as they study more and learn more, I think that would be very, very helpful. One of the most interesting anecdotes I kind of heard today from Mr. DePriest was that they had this one place where the water wasn't getting through, and it was, what are they called?
Pinwheels. Pinwheels.
Pinwheels. It's those flags that people put up that aren't allowed, that, you know, do the open thing to get people's attention, and they're blocking some culverts. And he said they couldn't fit right up here on at Locust, right? Yeah, they got blown it out in the creek and just totally blocked everything up, and it's a mess. So
My question is, I heard that you was impressed with how quick the waters went down. So there's a way that you guys measure that?
everybody's spoken to that I've talked to. They've just been
That
like,
shows
what?
that a lot's happening right there, but.
Well, I mean, it's not a lot of water in a short period of time. You know,
yeah, most of the rainfall we have calculated, or well, we've seen reported is based on a 24-hour interval. But most of the rain actually fell in probably more of a 12-hour interval. So if you take that into account, you're really probably looking at a higher level storm event.
Let me ask you one question. The neighbors around some of the investment properties that I own, we've all talked, and we've got a situation of water being shed off of an area that's causing flooding, not really creek. How do we go about scheduling a time to get a hold of you or any of your staff to come out and evaluate that piece of property?
You can email or call Lance or Denise in our office. Email them, call them, and they'll be happy to schedule a meeting with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else?
very much. Thank you. Anyone else? Department heads?
Councilman Javant said something about Jamie Campbell that concerned me. You said that they should live in the city. He does live in the city limits. Okay, well, I just want to make sure you understood he lives, but even some of our council doesn't work in the city.
Hey, good evening. How are y'all?
How are you?
Good. Hey, thank you for giving me an opportunity to just pour some love out on the fire department and all our other responding agencies. Typically for us, a shift which is 7A to 7A, we'll run 25 to 30 calls. From 07 on May the 8th to 07 on May the 9th, our shift responded to 88 calls for service. Of those calls, we assisted in 21 water rescues and evacuations, and that affected 33 adults, 11 children, and a pet. Obviously, the area of Blade and Merrill Street is historically known, and due to the volume of calls and requests for assistance in that area, Nashville Fire Department, Hendersonville Fire Department, Sumner County EMA, Wilson EMA, Lebanon Fire, and GPD, and the Sumner County Board of Education sent us a bus and a driver to aid in transport of evacuees, and I can't say enough about how well all the agencies work together. And then if I could just talk really quick about our county-wide Swiftwater team, and I was actually looking at my emails today. In February of 2020, we sent the first email out to the department about a need for this special ops team because, I mean, we're in a basin, right? We're gonna flood. Move that forward to today, countless hours of training and travel and just dedication, time away from family to equipment, lots of equipment that you guys have supported, and we're very appreciative of that. But it features members from our department, Sumner County EMA, Hendersonville Fire, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and Sumner County EMS. They work as a county resource, not only in the city. You know, some counties that's just served by a volunteer department probably don't have the resources to get those people out when they need it. And I talked to one of our Swiftwater guys today. They went at 11:18 a.m. for the first Swiftwater call in the county, and they were still responding at 9 a.m. the following day. I don't have a figure on the numbers of the calls they responded to in the county, but we're working to get that. But can I love on one more person real quick?
Sure.
And Richard,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna talk about the city shop just because those guys are awesome. Rick and Daniel and Jacob. Every time we've had a major event the past couple of years, the courthouse, the tornadoes, the floods, the dump fire, right? Rick and Jacob and Daniel, they're the work for the city shop. They've called and made themselves available 24/7. If you have equipment breakdowns, call us, we're coming. They actually brought us fuel and DEF when the Resource Authority caught fire and filled our trucks on the fly so we could keep working. So
Wow.
I just wanted to throw that out. So thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you. That's a nice snapshot. I appreciate Chief Woodward and just how dedicated our employees are, because nobody would fault any of them for not doing that, but how amazing that they do. And it makes a difference in how our citizens are served. So,
I want to say thank you.
woo-hoo, all departments. Anyone else? Y'all ready to go home? I think Mr. Hayes just made a motion.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Councilwoman George, second by Councilman Hayes. All in favor, say aye. Opposed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're adjourned. Have a good night. Be safe. Be kind to one another. Smile at somebody and make them feel better. Good night.